It started with a single, shattering sound that echoed through our modest home on Elmwood Avenue in Philadelphia, a coffee mug hitting the trash can, broadcast live to hundreds of strangers. I was in the garage that chilly December evening, sorting through Maria's old Christmas ornaments, when I heard Alex's voice booming from the kitchen. At 58, I'd grown used to my son's disdain. The way he rolled his eyes at my maintenance job at Lincoln Elementary, the same school where Maria had poured her soul into teaching third graders for over 2 decades. But that night, December 15th, the air felt heavier, like a storm building silently inside me. I cracked the door just enough to see him hunched over his laptop, grinning at the camera as if performing for an audience of admirers. "All right, folks. Tonight we're cutting the dead weight," he announced, his words slicing through the quiet like a knife. Dead weight. That's what he called his mother's legacy. The woman who'd given him everything, including the breath in his lungs. Maria and I had built our life brick by brick in this working-class neighborhood, where row houses lined the streets and everyone knew your business. She was the heart of it all, vibrant, with her warm brown eyes and that laugh that could light up a room. As a teacher, she didn't just educate, she healed. Kids from broken homes, struggling with reading or math, would blossom under her care. She'd spend her own money on supplies, stay late for parent conferences, even tutor on weekends without charging a dime. "It's not about the paycheck, John," she'd whisper to me over dinner. "It's about giving them a fighting chance." And me? I fixed what was broken: leaky faucets in the school bathrooms, creaky desks in her classroom. It wasn't glamorous, but it kept us afloat. Paid for our 2-bedroom home with the tiny backyard where Maria planted tulips every spring. Alex, our only child, grew up in that warmth. But somewhere along the way, it turned cold in him. He saw our life as a cage, our sacrifices as chains holding him back. The signs had been there for years, festering like an untreated wound. After Maria's death from ovarian cancer 3 years ago, Alex moved back home at 28, jobless and full of big dreams about crypto trading and online influencing. He'd lounge in the living room, his gaming setup where Maria's knitting basket used to sit, scoffing at my 6 a.m. shifts. "Dad, you're wasting your life fixing toilets," he'd say, calling me John like I was some roommate instead of the man who'd raised him. I'd bite my tongue, remembering Maria's dying wish: be patient with him. John. Grief twists people inside out, but patience has limits. 2 months before that fateful night, Alex started pushing harder. Over breakfast, my plain toast, his energy drink, he demanded $10,000 for some surefire investment in digital coins. Mom's life insurance is just sitting there, rotting in that savings account, he pressed, eyes gleaming with entitlement. That policy was our lifeline. $45,000 meant for emergencies, for keeping the roof over our heads. "No, son," I said firmly. "That's for security." He slammed his fist on the table. "Security? Look at this dump." Mom slaved away for peanuts. And what did it get her? A cheap funeral and forgotten awards. "You're both dinosaurs. Thinking hard work equals success." His words stung, burrowing deep into the grief I'd carried silently. Maria had fought cancer with quiet grace, never complaining, always worrying about Alex more than herself. "Promise me you'll tell him about the kidney only if he needs to know," she'd said in her final days. Her hand weakened mine. When Alex was 7, a rare genetic condition ravaged his kidneys. Doctors gave him months without a transplant. I wasn't a match, but Maria was perfectly. She donated without hesitation, enduring the pain, the recovery, all while pretending it was just routine surgery for his sake. She didn't want him burdened by guilt. She just wanted him alive. Love isn't a ledger, John, she'd say. But Alex never knew. And as he mocked her mediocre life, calling her classroom trinkets junk, the secret burned inside me like acid. He'd bring friends over, guys like Derek and Mike, chasing quick riches, and they'd laugh as he pointed at Maria's shelf of student gifts, handmade cards, faded photos, a collection of 52 keychains from kids she'd inspired. Dead weight holding us back, he'd declare. I mopped floors at work. But at home, I cleaned up his messes, swallowing the hurt because Maria believed in redemption. The pressure built like a dam cracking under floodwaters. A week before Thanksgiving, Alex escalated. He invited a realtor over without asking, a slick guy in a cheap suit who paced our living room, appraising Maria's home like it was scrap metal. Market's booming in Philly, the realtor said. You could flip this for $250K easy. Alex nodded eagerly. See, Dad? Sell this shrine. Invest the cash. And we're set. Shrine. That's what he called the place where Maria had read him bedtime stories, baked his birthday cakes, sat by the window watching snowfalls. I'm not selling, I whispered, my voice steady but my heart pounding. Alex's face darkened. You're selfish, John. Clinging to ghosts while I rot here. If you don't wise up, maybe I'll have to cut ties. The threat hung in the air. A betrayal that echoed Maria's unspoken fears. That night, alone in our bedroom, I checked the hidden bank app on my phone. Maria's inheritance from her Italian grandparents had finally cleared, a $1.8 million condo in Rome, overlooking the Colosseum. She'd never seen it, dying before the paperwork finalized, but she'd left it to Alex in her will, with a clause about honoring her memory. I'd kept it secret, waiting to see if he'd earn it. Now, doubt crept in like shadows lengthening at dusk. The breaking point came during our first real confrontation, a Tuesday evening thick with unspoken rage. I was polishing Maria's portrait, the one from her Teacher of the Decade award, when Alex stormed in, takeout bag in hand. Again with the dusting? She's gone. Dad. This obsession is creepy. His tone was dismissive. Like swatting a fly. She was a good woman, I replied softly. He snorted. Good? She was average at best. Spent her life in a classroom full of snot-nosed kids, pretending it mattered. What legacy? A pile of worthless plaques. The room spun. I set down the cloth, facing him. You have no idea what she did for you. He leaned in, mocking. What? Homework help? Big deal. My hand trembled as I touched his side, over the faint scar. This mark, it's from her. He pulled away. Appendectomy. Whatever. Ancient history. No, I said, my voice dropping to a whisper. Kidney failure. You were dying at 7. Maria gave you hers. Saved you without a second thought. Silence crashed over us. Alex's face paled, then twisted in denial. Lies. You'd have told me. She didn't want you feeling owed. It was a gift. He backed away, eyes wild. Convenient story to guilt me out of money. Prove it. I could have medical files tucked away in the attic. Photos of the surgery at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. But his cold skepticism, the way he reduced her sacrifice to manipulation, sealed something inside me. Believe what you want, I murmured, turning away. For days, he stewed in silence. But instead of remorse, it bred resentment. He avoided my eyes, muttered about emotional blackmail. The inheritance calls from the lawyer in Rome came weekly. Updates on the property's value climbing with the euro. I listened alone, Maria's voice echoing in my mind. Protect him from himself. John. But protection has a price. And Alex was about to pay it. December 15th exploded like a long-fused bomb. From the garage, I watched through the cracked door as Alex set up his live stream. Welcome to Breaking Free, he beamed to the growing audience. 300 viewers. Then 500. Tonight, I'm ditching the past for good. He panned the camera over Maria's awards, her keychain collection, stacks of heartfelt letters from students. My mom was sweet. But let's face it, her life was small. These trinkets? Symbols of settling. He grabbed a handful of letters, reading them in a sneering falsetto. You changed my life. Mrs. Reynolds. Changed how? By teaching multiplication? Pathetic. Viewers cheered in the comments, egging him on. My blood boiled as he marched outside, dumping the letters into the curbside trash under streetlights. Dead weight gone, he crowed. Shattering keychains next. Their clinks like breaking bones. 800 viewers now. He saved Maria's favorite keychain for last, a tiny silver apple engraved heart of gold from her last class. This one's Dad's precious relic, he mocked. Time to let go. Smash. It hit the bin. And something in me shattered too. I stepped into the kitchen, my presence a thunderclap. Alex froze. Camera still rolling. Dad, keep going, I said. My voice ice cold. Grabbing the laptop. 1,200 viewers watched as I faced the screen. This is John Reynolds. Maria, my wife, didn't just teach. She saved lives, starting with his. I revealed the kidney story. The scar. The selfless act. Alex begged me to stop. But the dam had burst. And Maria left him a $1.8 million condo in Rome. But Hurwell demands respect for her legacy. Tonight, he violated that. The comments erupted in horror. I announced the donation to a scholarship fund for underprivileged kids. Maria's true heirs. Alex's face crumpled in real-time panic. No. Dad, that's mine. I shut the laptop. The silence deafening. Pack your bags. You're out by morning. The aftermath was a whirlwind of consequences. Each one a knife twist in Alex's entitlement. The video went viral, millions of views. Trending as Maria's sacrifice. Strangers donated to the fund. Former students shared stories of Maria's kindness. Alex lost friends. Derek blocked him. Mike called him toxic. Job prospects vanished. Landlords refused him after quick Google searches. He slept in his car, begged for forgiveness in voicemails that grew desperate. I didn't know. Dad. The kidney. The condo. I can change. But change born of loss isn't redemption, it's survival. I ignored the pleas, honoring Maria's memory by letting him face the void he'd created. The town rallied around her, renaming the school library, planting a garden in her honor. Even in death, Maria's love bloomed, helping others while Alex wandered, haunted by the price of his betrayal. Months later, a faded letter from Maria surfaced in her old desk. If Alex chooses ingratitude, let him learn through loss. Use what I leave to spread the love he rejected. I did. The fund saved lives, funded educations. Alex texted once from Seattle, working odd jobs, trying to be better. Miss her. No reply. Vengeance isn't sweet, it's necessary. A silent storm that clears the air. Maria's sacrifice endured, proving that true legacies outlast even the deepest wounds.